Well, I know why you're here. You're interested in fragrance, aren't you? Okay, so we're going to get right into it. Welcome to the Fragrance Nut. And a nut in fragrances, I am. So, we're going to talk about the House of Celine. This will be the third installment of what I've checked out so far with the House of Celine. The first one I did was Black Tie. And then I looked at a few others and pulled the trigger on. And I believe it's from the same place that I was able to get these decants. So let's get this underway. The first one we're going to talk about is Dan's Paris. And by the way, I don't know if you can make that out, but I got it from scentrush.com. Okay, so what do we have here? It seems like a running theme for the Celine house so far. I haven't tried all of them, but those that I have, I believe that their real theme or their expertise seems to be in the lane of vanilla. And I have Dan's Paris on my right. You don't cross my shoulders, that's behind there. But on my left, even it's geared to women. I don't care if I like it. And then how else am I going to be able to give you my opinion if I don't put it on? And my wife, I will give it to her later and let her test it. And it has a vanilla as well. But this here has tonka bean also, and that tonka bean gives a vanilla type smell. It has both have sensual musk. Okay, but let's get back to this one. This one here, it has laurel blossom. And I'm not real familiar with laurel blossom other than, everybody's flow when it comes to florals. They typically know jasmine, gardenia, rose for sure. And then iris and any other type of floral, the dominant ones. I'll say gardenia. But in this one, they're using laurel blossom. And laurel blossom, from when I do my research on that, and when I do smell it, yes, it does smell somewhat like a grape soda. Where I'm from in Michigan or Detroit, it was real popular Faygo grape soda. Here in St. Louis, it might be what it's called Vest, and grape bubble gum. Remember Bubblicious, I believe it might be, if anyone's familiar with that. I guess it's not a bad thing. It's pretty nice. There's coriander in there, so that coriander can make it a little spicy. That's where we're gonna get the woods. And it's got some bergamot in here. Now, it's being a citrus aromatic fragrance. If it's a citrus fragrance, you're probably gonna hear people say they didn't really smell it on them, or it didn't really last typically as citrus fragrances do, maybe 3-4 hours best, and then it's gone, unless the bergamot will kind of stretch those things a little more. So I'm not sure if they put this in the top or they dropped it in the mid. Probably, I would say they put it in the mid if they wanted to stick around for a while. But typically, I always say, if you really want to make that fragrance hold, and some people's skin, don't ever put it in a dry area. Put it in your most oily area, but to really secure the deal or seal the deal, you want to get you. And what I use, if you're not using an unscented lotion, and even a scented lotion, it won't take away from the fragrance. I tend to use Neutrogena body oil. It says sesame seed on there. Really nice. You can actually wear it. It smells good. You can actually wear it by itself, typically about $12. And I usually always out of the shower, I put that on, and then I just put my fragrance on top of it. And it's gonna last you all day. And you don't have to worry then whether the fragrance fading. Now, what you may worry about is that maybe the scent will sit close to the skin. It's nothing you can do about that. Some project more than others. Sometimes as you go out through the day, you'll catch wafts of it again, and you think it's gone. That's because you probably went nose blind on some fragrances that may not have a huge sillage on it. And so you think it's gone. And if you don't mind, carry your little decant. Maybe if you feel that you need to reapply, then do it. These are typically a little expensive, so I don't know what your pockets look like, but hey, don't deprive yourself. I don't. So anyway, yeah, it's nice. I've say, I don't know what time it is right now, but I'd say I probably had it on at least an hour or more. And I can pick it up from here. I do get it. Now we're gonna talk about Zouzou. And I just got a little 2 mil. I do wish that I had maybe gotten a little larger. So, because a lot of times 2 mil, if I get a 2 mil size, I will typically go ahead and just put the whole thing on, because typically if you're using a bottle, you're probably spraying, you may be spraying about 1.5 mils, depending on how many sprays. So I just go ahead and empty the whole thing, and then that way I can really get a full day's wear and then give you a real proper review and assessment on that. But Zouzou, it's kind of sweet, it's powdery. I would even say, wow, this is really nice. So this Dance Paris, I'm still leaning the black tie. I'm thinking of pulling the trigger, but this Dance Paris ain't nothing, no slouch. It's nice. And anytime we're moving into the autumn part of the season and then winter, the gourmands are going to make a killing in the market. Trust me. But vanilla, that's really the go-to. I don't care what time of season it is. You might want to at least have a little bit of vanilla in there. It's just something about that makes you hungry. If you like cake, like I do. Anyway, so in here, it also has, in Zouzou, it has labdanum. And labdanum, it is, you ever heard of rock rose? Or I think it's Clive Christian has a rock rose fragrance, but that's basically what they're saying is labdanum is sort of rock rose. It's gonna give that amber feeling, that leathery feel to it, especially. I believe there's even some patchouli in this, and it's not to my nose, it's not an earthy patchouli. It's just there as a supporting actor, if you will, or supporting role. The star of the show in both of these lead vocals is we got vanilla on lead vocals, and we got patchouli on drums. And here, Bergamot is the lead singer in this group, and you got some of the other things. But that's all I have to say about these two fragrances. Anyway, like, subscribe, leave a comment. Always remember, keep smelling good. I will. Bye.